Alright, I don't know what happened in the last one. I have no idea where we left off. I'm just going to leave off. Pick up. I don't know where we left off. I'm going to pick up where I left off, or whatever, on this Hanko Flamio video. Brandon, Looney Tunes fan, excuse me, entered the room, and they're trying to, figure some shit out, or whatever.
Something's weird.
But eventually we get into, some debate prep here. So, yeah, I have not looked. I don't know where the last one ended, but I'm just going to go from here because there wasn't much in this portion. In fact, I'm probably going to speed it up.
It's just a bunch of pictures up. Wile E. Coyote, Foghorn Leghorn, and a Daffy Duck.
And we live.
What?
Except, of course, I did a great impression of Wile E. Coyote. Well, it's semi-okay. It wasn't that good.
Restream button. I did hit the restream button.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Daniel Barry. Good to see you.
And here's my email, which I said it was on Friday, which you can check for yourself, I think. It's too small. Let me pull that up. There you go. I was on your stream Friday. My response to Brandon. Okay. Let me present what I was trying to show my debate prep. Yeah, can you be an atheist? Yeah. So back to where we were talking about before.
Can you be an atheist and say God exists in any context?
Can you be an atheist and say God exists in any context? And I'm arguing in the negative. I don't think you can.
Modern day debate Discord. I didn't know you had a Discord.
I don't have a Discord.
I do. But I have a Discord server in my About page. I did put in about having a Looney Tunes stream on your channel so I can restream this on mine.
Why would I want to have a Looney Tunes stream on my channel when I don't want to do Looney Tunes streams on I don't know if I want to do a Looney Tunes stream on my channel, but why would I need to when you can just do it on your channel?
Can you be an atheist and say God's existence in any context? And
no.
Visit DP Modern Day Debate Discord by Hank of Famo. Definitions. All that. There's the opening statement.
Do you want to read out the definitions?
Yeah. Truly, that limits the extent or unit object by which you can imagine or draw that which has shape. Location: the set of distances from one object to all other objects.
I think by far the most fascinating thing about this is he starts the definition. The first definition he defines is that of definition.
An object that has a location that which you can see or touch. An entry with more than one location exists. To have a location. Time. To have more than one location. Context. Set of objects being invoked or embodied by an object. Universe. A set of objects that has physical presence with each other. A number of coordinates need to specifically a location or an object. Science. To explain the presentation. Code. Process prevents the existence of embarrassment. Nothing. Object that doesn't exist that you present. Science on the background. Affirms wins and gods. Decides worshiping gods. Doesn't affirm or deny witnessing of gods. Testimony of seen or touch it in entirety. And there's all. Boss King Blue.
Okay, so when I do the debate, I get started with my definitions first. So when I use a word, people clearly know what I mean by the usage of the word.
Clearly.
So, after I have my definitions set up, I want to write my opening statement, which is what I'm working on today. So I have an outline. So pretty much I need to work on.
You can't be an atheist and affirm witnessing gods in any context, because once you do, you would be a theist. Something Steve McRae. That's like the Darth Dawkins shit, right? Because Darth Dawkins, he'll say is anytime you reference, if you reference, is it logic or knowledge? One of the two. I think it says if you reference knowledge, then you're affirming God's existence by his definition of God, right? So if you acknowledge his accept his definition of God, then anytime you reference knowledge or certainty of a fact, then you are affirming the existence of his God.
Examples. I think I'm going to replace Mr. Mixie in this set of examples. Yeah, that's a good cartoon. It's a good comic that gets the point across.
Because it still fits your definition. In your statement, you can't be an atheist and affirm witnessing gods in any context. Well, atheists don't affirm witnessing gods. They can affirm the claims of other people who claim to have experienced God. But when you talk about witnessing God, nobody can actually witness God, right? Like, even according to most theists that I've heard, I've never heard somebody, like, unless they, like, claim, like, they died and, like, walked with Jesus or some shit, right? Like, but that's pretty rare. Like, and the Bible clearly says that you can't actually witness God, like, until you, like, ascend spiritually or whatever.
Some Mixie peddling. I don't.
Reference Bible, Steve McRae and Rory Sorensen. I don't know that.
So Yahweh. Mr. Mixie for money.
He put examples of gods here. It says Yahweh. What the hell that is? Kim Ji Sung? I don't know. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is an example of a god.
My shit pretty much all about cartoons.
If you disagree with my examples of gods, then you need to propose your test for divinity.
Say again?
I don't. How can you say Taylor Swift is a god? That's ridiculous.
My channel is pretty much also about showing off cartoons as well. Well, this is I'm streaming this on here because Mixed Smith wants me to.
My test for divinity is like, well, according to people who claim things about divinities, that they're, like, extraordinary at the very least. Like, maybe all-knowing, all-seeing, all-powerful, or at least, like, one or two of those.
Clothes and dance naked. Tom Smith's about.
No, you're not even on camera, so it doesn't matter if you're naked or not.
He wants to see my mom take off all her clothes.
No, she's not on camera either.
That's big time triple X right there.
No, it depends how fat she is. You may not be able to see anything.
I was on Simon's panel, by the way. He kicked me out because I'm my dog.
Because you're what?
Sparky the dog.
Oh, okay.
Did you say Sparky the dog?
Hey, Bernard.
Bernard.
What's up?
Bernard came to my channel a few times.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, sir. Staying busy, working. I
have the best streams, Bernard.
Yeah, stream's cool, bro. Keep up the good work, man. You feel me?
Most people say I have the best streams on YouTube.
Yeah, you do, bro. You do. What's the topic, man?
So I'm preparing for a debate. So the topic's pretty much helping me with this.
This is for John McSmith. That's for John McSmith, by the way.
Oh, what's up, Smith?
Slugger calls him McPervert.
You say he's what?
So right off the bat, like, I could just, like, the premise, can you be an atheist and say gods exist in any context? Yes. A fictional one. In a fictional context, they exist in your mind. Like, they exist in the minds of people.
Slugger,
that's my rebuttal. Like, I don't even see how you could, like, if I'm just saying it's all made up, where do you go with that?
Now he's renamed Brandon's bodyguard.
Okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Where you from, man?
Are you still
Yes.
in Georgia?
He asking
Why
Brandon,
do
he
you
asking me.
Come
He
again.
asking Nick, whatever.
Come again.
Okay, let's start over. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I got questions for you, man. Where you from?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States.
What set you from?
Hey,
We heard this one earlier on Flow State Stream.
that's dope, man. You play sports?
Not right now.
Do you watch sports?
Yeah.
Negative.
Negative.
Same for me, Hank.
Oh, damn.
The black user panels have been on. Are there swear words in your channel?
Of course.
What's your favorite Looney Tune, man?
So I restream this until it goes X-rated.
I don't go X-rated on YouTube, but you know what is interesting? Twitter now allows for X-rated stuff now, so it's a new thing. But I don't know how that's gonna work with the legislation on Texas. So
Yeah. You got like, you know, you in school, bro?
me, no, I'm just a nerd.
You're a nerd. Why you say you're a nerd, man? I mean, that's a good
Because
thing.
I'm doing a debate. I'm literally editing my opening statement
It's called School of Life, man. Own it.
on editing what I'm gonna say on stream. That's why I'm saying I'm a nerd.
Also, I'm sorry. I saw Daniel Berry. Welcome back, and Christian Carpenter. Good to see you. Good morning.
Okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd, though. Like, that's actually a good thing. You know, you're smart. You're a smart guy.
That's debatable.
What? Okay.
I like that. My intelligence is debatable. Yeah, I agree with that statement.
Yo, Brandon. Yo, Brandon.
I supersize with you.
Oh, there's my buddy Vic.
Hey, what's up, Vic?
Hey, what's happening, guys? How you doing tonight?
Man, we doing good, bro.
That's good, brother. Hey, I appreciate you bringing me up, man. I just,
I don't actually know any of these guys. I know Brandon. I've hung out with Brandon, but I only know Hank from other streams.
I just had to say something to,
I'm
to Brandon.
restreaming this for Mick Smith to teach him a lesson.
Okay, hey, I got to tell you something, Brandon, and I want to apologize to the host of this channel for me to coming over here with this. I just haven't had a chance to talk to
It
Brandon.
doesn't bother me. I'm not.
okay,
I
okay.
like to master drama stuff, so go ahead, snap it there.
Okay. So, Brandon, I got a lot of heat on me right now, man, for some drama because of the new channel that I'm starting up. I got people that are trying to follow me around, you know, and troll me and stuff, and I don't want to bring that to your channel, bro. I know they won't find me here because they don't know this gentleman.
No, bring
But
him
they know
all
that I
here.
go to-
Bring him to me.
Okay.
Offer to me.
Okay.
Bring him here.
Okay.
Bring him all to
Yeah,
me.
but I just don't want to bring him to.
Hank saw I want the trolls. You heard it here. He said, "Bring me your trolls."
Brandon's channel because he's trying to do his thing over there, bro. So, Brandon, I just want you to understand that just for right now, I can't come up on your panel, okay? Because it's going to bring heat to your channel. You understand that? It's not for anything personal with you. I'm trying to protect you from what's going on.
Send him it.
If you have an
I'll
email,
give
I can send
contact.
you. You have a no. If you do that, use UTMA as you have it. I can just send you the UK's ETMA as on your email.
How can we
What?
get them all here right now?
How to
I
get him
send
here right
Hank
now?
pictures of Looney Tunes characters on his email.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Brandon, are you understanding what I'm telling you though, or no?
Yes.
What am I telling you then, Brandon? What am I trying to explain to you?
About the drama that's happening, Triple X.
Right, and I don't want to bring it. I know this guy wants me to bring.
What the? You guys not realize how intelligent fucking Brandon is. See, this is. I think it's hilarious that people have to fucking. He had to do that. Of course, he fucking understands. And he knows who he's talking to. Come on now.
Bring it here, but I don't want it to bring it to your channel, bro. I don't want people to go after you, Brandon. I know this man can handle it. As can Angel, but I just don't want to bring. I just don't want to bring it to the thing because they're trying to associate me with people that
I've seen Brandon rolling around the muck. Y'all don't even know it. Y'all don't even understand.
unsavory things.
That's the meta right there.
Just put it that way, and it's not true. I try to help people no matter what's been in their past, and like I said, they're trying to come after me, my new channel that I'm starting, and people around me, and I don't want Brandon to catch any of the smoke. That's all. That's why.
Yeah, what's
I could just stop the stream on branch down when you get here. Bring them to me. Get them.
Okay.
Get them
Okay. All right, bro. I'll see what I can do because I know if when they know where I'm at, they'll come on panel and they'll start telling everybody what
do
a
you have an
horrible
email, Vic?
person I am.
Yo, Vic.
So
You
Yo,
can put in
what's
the
up?
private.
Let's
You
give
can put in
you
the private
let's
chat.
give you refuge as long as mine. Let's bring them all in here. I mean, the guys, my haters don't even come over here because they know how bad I am, but I don't have power. They only want to
Right.
They don't want to see what happens when I do have power. So
I got you, bro. Okay. All right, man. I'll try to see if I can get him to.
Do you have an
Come
email,
over
Vic?
here.
You can put in the private
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, brother. But I just don't want him going after Brandon. I think you guys can understand that.
So I can send you a very special picture for your avatar.
Okay. All right. Let me go and let me go hit a couple other panels, and I'll see if I can get anybody to come over with me. All right, gentlemen.
excellent.
What's the name of your channel, man?
And as your
Oh, it's-
thumbnail, Vic.
Yeah,
This,
it's
this
Vic
one
Ferrari.
here's-
It's a little bit hard to find, but it is Vic Ferrari. I'm not the musician, and I'm not the ladies
Here's your-
man. I'm the other Vic Ferrari.
You're not
Here's
the
the
ladies,
picture.
man.
All right,
I
guys.
don't believe that.
Here's the picture I'm going to send to you.
Okay. You don't believe I'm not the ladies man?
I don't believe that at all.
There you
No,
go,
no,
Vic.
I got I got the voice for radio. Unfortunately, I got the face to match, so that's just the way it goes.
Oh well.
It is what it is.
This is the picture I'm going to
All
send
right,
to you,
guys.
Vic.
Yeah.
All right, peace, guys. Until we meet again. Like I said, if I get some people to come over here with me, bro, I'll do it for you.
Excellent.
And,
Sounds like a plan.
All right, be well, my friend.
All right, man. Hey, man, I got some more questions for y'all, man.
Yep.
That's the fake Alonzo said. Brandon, do you like? That's a question mark. It says, do I like? It says, do you like boobies?
All right, y'all, man. I'm out, y'all. Hey, man, y'all have a good night. Y'all heard me?
Yes. You don't want to hang out, Bernard?
Huh?
You can go if you want to. Not a big deal.
Hey, I mean, hey, like,
A sub is a sub. Hey, what's up, Zyrax? Good to see you. We're watching debate prep over on Hanko Flamio's channel right now. I'm doing good. Yeah, I don't know Vic. I don't. That's the first I think I've seen that dude. Maybe I've seen him on Simon's.
I'll be back, bro. I'll be
Oh,
back.
okay, excellent.
Oh, welcome back, Tug. Good to see you.
Vic has a lot of fans.
That's Carl.
That's Carl.
Yes, one of my BFFs in the tavern.
Excellent. Someone has a question for you, Brandon.
No, that's why I'm coming here more often. That's why.
Okay. He's into asses then, just like I am.
I'm into this now because I'm McSmith.
So that picture of Yahweh is from Dark Matter 2525. He draws cartoons too.
How is an atheist depicting a cartoon depiction of the deity that y'all describe acknowledging its existence?
I don't know how to put a what's that called?
Yes, I'm restreaming this for McSmith.
What's wrong with Mick Smith?
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't like entertaining drama about like people I don't know. Like if I know something about them, then okay. But I'm probably just gonna try to keep it neutral if I don't know the person or whatever.
Episodes. If you design my examples of gods, then you need to propose your test of dividing. That's from McSmith. I don't.
Dude, what are you doing right now to strengthen your argument? Because I feel like this is like really weak. Does he even have? He doesn't have this actually lined up yet, right? He just put this in Discord. So
if anyone knows how to disable top chat and just force it on live chat, that'd be great. I don't know enough about you to see if you qualify, so you don't get a wrench here.
I'm new.
Right now.
This is only my second time on this panel.
Yeah, I only have 3 No Jack, the machine lies, and made by Jump Up. Those are my only 3 moderators right now because they have thick enough skin.
Jim Bob is a mod on this channel.
You know, I made him with No Jack because he runs away. He runs away scared a lot. I'll keep him there for now. I'll keep him there for now, but that's the only 3 moderators I have at the moment. But I need people who don't get easily offended. Pretty much, they don't need to use the wrench for spam because they can hold.
I think I saw Hank first on Flow State's channel, and then over there at Answers in Atheism right before Jim Bob came on. Do you like boots? He told me to take off my clothes because his subscriber told him to. That's fucking great. Am I gonna have a religion? I debate people on religion like all the time somehow. Like I don't even ask for it. They just like to come by. Well, you know, I kind of opened the door to it a little while ago, I guess. So, yeah, no. But as far as like a scheduled debate, I don't have anything planned. But I need to be kind of careful with like what kind of topic matter I do. People like a lot of people will try to I should say, you know, there's like a couple people in particular who will try to bring up evolution because of my image and my channel name and stuff, and I'm not like qualified as a scientist or like anything like that. Like I'm kind of like Hank here. I'm just, you know, living the school life. But one thing I was going to bring up, and you know, I just bring it up now, but I'm going to do a separate video to address it, was like this point that was made to me the other day where somebody was like, oh, if I could say this and this and this and disprove evolution. And, you know, I think the more important point is even if you could like disprove all of like evolutionary theory, which I think is, you know, highly unlikely, right? But even if you could do that, it still wouldn't make me a theist, right? Like you still have to take that extra step, take me from, oh, evolution is false to God is real, right? Like that's like another separate claim. So
Go on.
And do you have is 3,000 a lucky number?
No.
Is it an unlucky number?
No.
That makes sense that 3,000 is a very unlucky number in the Bible.
Okay, let's check the Bible real quick. Let's go ahead and look at it. Let's see if that number's even in the Bible. I like using the NIV.
yeah, that's a good point. Weren't they still like measuring shit in cubits back then? Furlongs or something?
Screen, present, share screen. So 3,000 in the Bible. I don't think the number's written out. Okay, the number isn't written out in the Bible. Let's see if the word is written out. Okay, so the word's written out in the Bible. So Exodus 32:28. Levites did as Moses commanded, and that day about 3,000 people died.
The 3,000.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it is. That's enough. Well, I don't know if it's lucky or not, but 3,000. Let's see what else.
So about 3,000 went out. Well, they were governed by the man of AI.
Yeah, send 2,000 or 3,000 men to take it, and do not worry the whole army, for only a few people who live there. So Rajasthan support, so about 3,000 people went up, but they were routed by the men of Ai. Judges 15:11, 3,000 men from Judah went down to the cave in the rock. And one said to Samson, "Don't you realize that Philistines are rulers over us? What have you done to us?" He answered, "I merely did to them what they had done to me."
I saw Brandon's mom.
I'm not sure it's unlucky, but yeah, that 3,000 men did die. It's not enough for me to say it's unlucky.
What?
Those guys from your streams to bed.
It says I'm with they.
That's my chat.
We got 30 minutes. All right, we're in for the long haul. Something interesting's got to happen, right?
So I need that Mixie comic where he was gloating about not being forgotten, but his writers would be.
So the things doesn't have to be one or the other. Whether you can disprove evolution, you can still have beliefs. Evolution is not a belief, but more so a scientific theory that's based on. Oh, continue. Brandon's a lot smarter than most people give him credit for. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. So saying earlier too. Yeah, no, I don't take him for a dumb guy at all.
You found it?
He does not possess He does not possess Brandon is the Looney Tunes man, by the way. Brandon is the Looney Tunes. Iceman's my best customer.
Customer? What does he
Why
buy
are you
from?
just putting more cartoons into his presentation?
He comes to my
What?
chat. He didn't. He comes to my
Dude,
channel.
this is so. Oh, that's cringe, bro. Come on.
I don't like the brat.
Come on, Hank. Putting comic strips in your presentation is not argumentation, bro.
Your stream is the best stream on YouTube.
He's on my chat.
Yes. What metric are you using?
I'm just gonna be a dick right now.
My channel is pretty much about old school cartoons.
Yes, I understand that. What metric are you using to determine that your stream is the best stream on YouTube?
He says that's what most people say. It's you call that yeah, it's like majority report or some shit.
Don't tell me you didn't understand the question. We're both bosses here. I know you knew what I meant.
What are you doing right now? Are you formatting this?
I do go on his to Netflix panel sometimes. He gets paid $50 to kick me out if I stay for long.
Wait, what? Who paid? Somebody paid $50 to have Brandon kicked off a stream? Flow states? Brandon's subscriber says he has the best channel on YouTube, according to Simon. Yeah. Consensus of scientists claim to be true. All right, finishing the comment there. Evolution is not a belief, but more so a scientific theory based on consensus of scientists claim to be true. Yeah. It also, like, it aligns with different fields of science, not just biology. That's the key to it.
Speakeasy's panel. I would never go to Speakeasy's panel, so I don't.
I go on Scissors panel sometimes. He's a pretty decent user.
Oh, Speakeasy, yeah. So I fell asleep on Speakeasy's panel like a couple months ago, and so I felt like I might have gotten some negative attention from that. There's definitely some of the troll culture over there.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely use Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think use this image, yes.
buy a 5,000. I didn't know there was a $5,000 bill.
I know what? I didn't know it either.
Yeah, I've been over there a bit, since I started listening to Andrew and stuff. But yeah, I only went on the panel that one night, and then I passed out, like, I think within like 15, 20 minutes. So I haven't been back since then. But
My sub count's now 3073.
Is that fake money? No, all money's fake. The only thing that makes it real is our belief in it.
Is that fake money?
I really don't know. Well, yeah, because all money's fake because the value comes from our belief in it. It's not I don't think it's counterfeit, but it's all fake.
what
Wait, come on, eat. Yes, he can rip.
the hell? Hey, it's the Christian Carpenter. Christian Carpenter's in Hank's chat here too. It's like,
But yeah, in some sense, all money's fake because it only gets value from our belief in it.
So fine. This is peaceful.
oh, so this
Am I
is
supposed to get-
for his argument that like money can be defined as a god.
And that's peaceful as time goes on. I was hoping the guy chasing Vic would get over here.
America no longer has bills larger than $100 bill.
Oh, okay. Let's check that. Okay, 6 discontinued.
See, I also think like when you say something like that, right? Like for a theist to actually take up this argument, right? Like, it's like, okay, so if you say people like a god is anything that people can worship, like anything that people worship could be a god. Well, then sure, like I could worship a shoe. Shoe could be a god, or something like that. Like that's like that interpretation doesn't work with the idea of creationism, which is really what you're talking about. you're not just talking about a thing that you revere, it's a thing that you like ought to revere. And if you don't revere it, then, you know, something really, really bad is going to happen to you. Or, you know, like it doesn't make sense if it's just anything that you can idolize or worship. Right? But that's what they say when it's like something like money. Oh, and money has so much power in the world, right? And so people like have this kind of relationship with money. They see it as godlike, but it's and in a way that is like the you know whatever you call it, like, you know, prosperity Christianity. Like a lot of Christians do think that way. Like they're not thinking in terms of you know, just you know, worshiping the Creator. It's always, what can God do for me? And when they look at people who, you know, who are obsessed with money, it's the same thing, right? It's not the money itself, it's what it can do for you. And it's not like a cult of personality where you actually worship the person, right? Which is more like what the fundamentalist Christianity is more like that, right? As opposed to like the evangelicals and the prosperity preachers.
New and uncommon U.S. currency denominations.
It's just that.
What's this video? This is an bad block.
Because arguably, like, prosperity preachers are also worshiping money.
Okay, the $2 bill. Okay, $500 bill, $1,000 bill, $5,000 bill, $10,000 bill, $100,000 bill. Okay, they're right.
They used to have 500,000, 5,000, and 10,000.
And 100,000. Here. Woodrow Wilson.
Same night Brandon took over the panel. So I'm snoozing on the stream 2 days ago. Just giving him a hard time. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll go back eventually. We're gonna wait. Hopefully, you know, people just forget over time. Actually, one of my most successful streams was my sleep stream, where I was just like watching like The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the original, like Lon Chaney and shit, and I just slept for like 6 hours with that playing on repeat in the background.
Interesting.
And yeah, it got a lot of viewership.
The $100,000 bills cannot be legally held by collectors. I'm gonna check that Stream Elements channel. And I assume
One night he was snoring so loud it sounded like a big dog. It's terrible. Brandon went on Wildhurst channel. Yeah, that's how I originally saw Brandon for sure. I was already kind of watching, I guess, some of these other circles, like the Wilson guy and shit. So, in Flow State, I think Richard recommended me over there. Actually, they're around the same time.
the Elements is supposed to be a nap, so I'm just gonna.
And I've consistently had a channel membership gifted to me at Flow States every month since. I don't know how that keeps happening, but.
What's Flow State yammering about?
You can tell that like there's little me over the side, and then I'm share screening the big screen.
Is that stream right there
Speak of the devil.
X-rated, Hank?
This is YouTube, Brandon. Nothing on YouTube's X-rated.
I'm restreaming this.
I'll open it after. But I don't remember the comment. I heard that name's badass. I heard. All right, here she is.
There I am. Hi.
All right, hi.
So I'm one of the meanest people here, so I'm a good person to do this. No, but I'm honest. So hopefully people understand that you asked me to come up here, and
Oh, he was just talking about this before I came on. This is the thing he was talking about where she's gonna tell him why people don't like him or some shit. Glenn Lawrence. No, I think he was on the panel that night, and I've seen him since, and I was like, that guy looks familiar. I think he was on the panel that night. I was over there, and he fell asleep. So I have to like find the channel, I think, or I might have already looked it up. I still haven't seen his stuff though. Seen Simon on Mel Pandora's channel before. Not familiar with that one. Have to look that up too. Yeah, the circle keeps expanding.
there's so many reasons why people don't like you. They love you too. So many people love you. So I got to say that. I'm kind of a little bit of both, depending on what's happening. And I wrote lists of stuff that are a culmination of things other people have said and things I think. So I know you don't have, your feelings aren't hurt at pretty much anything. So I can go ahead. We can discuss this, correct?
Correct.
Okay, let's go.
Well, this doesn't seem to be related to the content here, so I don't know. We'll just no, that's a couple days old there, or yesterday, and then Flow State was addressing this earlier on his own stream, which might still be live. So yeah, we'll leave that one. But yeah, we kind of talked about Hank's argument there. Let's see, this is part 2, so it would be helpful to look at part 1. But yeah, this doesn't have anything to do with that. Shit, that's the wrong thing. Okay, come on, there we go. Oh, and there's another one scheduled and upcoming, so hit notify me. The usual suspects in the chat already.
Okay, I am live. I'm preparing for my debate with what's his name, DB from the Monday Debate Discord. And this whole
So
debate's going to be preparation for my debate before it's about.
he's already scheduled this debate with DB. I don't know if I'm familiar with
I
that.
hope to
user.
have eventually after this. So right here I have a LibreOffice.
So now we get special insight into how he established this fascinating argument. Mel Pandora's. Yeah, I'll remember that. Hank is not my type of content creator. Yeah, I don't know what my type of content creator is anymore, though. Flat Earthers. They're always fun.
Window, and we're just going to start adding notes to this file, so I know what I'm going to say during the debate. So I can have my opening done, I have my references ready, and I don't leave anything out. So the title is going to be the resolution of the debate, which will be, can you be an atheist and say gods exist in any context? And the subtitle will be I guess heading 1.
Yeah, I feel like the subtitle should be your position. Like, you should, by phrasing it as a question, right? Like, if you're formulating an argument, you need to be making an affirmative statement, not that this is the case or this is not the case. Like, you know what the question is. You're trying to establish how you reason out an answer to the question.
Bring this up now. All right, step down. Versus DB at the debate.
Oh, hey, good morning, William Freeman. Good to see you.
So I already have a panel guest. I'm gonna bring Brandon Looney Tunes on.
Hey now, Hank.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes. What's this stream about?
I just told you. I just introduced. I'm preparing for debate against DB from the Monday Debate Discord, so I can get ready for my debate against Forrest Valkai.
Wait, did you just say Forrest Valkai? He's debating Forrest Valkai? No, versus DB. DB is not, what the fuck did you just say about Forrest Valkai?
User.
So I already have a panel guest. I'm gonna bring Brandon Looney Tunes on.
Hey now, Hank.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes. What's this stream about?
I just told you. I just introduced. I'm preparing for debate against DB from the Monday Debate Discord, so I can get ready for my debate against Forrest Valkai.
Wait. So
You're a good user.
Frozen.
Yeah, I have a noisy back.
So he's saying this debate. He's debate prepping for this debate, which is like the pre-debate, and he is debating Forrest Valkai. Oh boy, that's gonna be amazing. Just wow.
Round.
What background?
Yours.
Oh, the Dodgers. The Dodgers.
I almost feel like I was gonna play a bit from Forrest, one of Forrest's interviews with Seth Andrews for Jill, but I feel like it would just be gratuitous at this point. Math Pig, good to see you. Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, whatever time it is. 3:40 in the morning here. So he is going to get smashed. I mean, if nothing else, Forrest can definitely fucking argue his way out of a paper bag.
Do you have favorite Looney Tunes?
Oh shit.
So, anytime my mom goes on a trip, I have to take care of her dogs. It
Houston,
pretty much
we
is
have a
just
problem.
me sitting in the basement with them, trapped in my own house.
Secrets of friends, you get to watch your pets in the neighborhood.
Roped into.
Week-long.
This episode has been heavily censored due to some of the unsettling topics discussed. I know you guys can handle it, but YouTube cannot. If you want it uncensored and ad-free, it's on Patreon. Please hammer that subscribe button below and enjoy the show.
Shit, I should have done that to get more Patreon subscribers. If you want to hear me raw, uncut, shirtless.
Okay.
Oh.
I am live. I'm preparing for my debate.
Okay, let's just skip ahead. I think we get, the just
Which is
what
unreasonable.
the fuck.
I can always go.
He went on this for 6 hours. What happens over the course of 6 hours here? And that was all he got accomplished. Oh boy. Okay, so we'll just hey Halsey, good to see you. I'm trying to figure out how to proceed, or if to proceed. Wait, what?
Do I need motion? I don't think I'm gonna need motion for this debate. time at one location. What one time? I don't think I need time for this debate. I may need it, so I'm gonna put it in there. Context, I definitely need that one. Context would be the set of objects being invoked or embodied by an object. That's gonna be a key word.
Context is a set of objects being invoked or embodied by an object. Is that right? See, I don't want to start looking up I think the best part, is that he had to put definition of definition at the head of the definitions. So there's definitely an issue there. And his definition of theism, atheism is all wrong. So
What's the source of this document we're looking at?
That's from my blog. I quoted those definitions that when I was going back and forth with Bill Katie.
So these are personal definitions?
Yeah, which is valid in the debate as long as I be explicit about it. Which is why I'm putting the definitions in my debate prep. So when I do my opening statement, he knows exactly what I mean.
Right.
And if he says no, you have to use the other source with definitions, which is unreasonable, I can always have a dictionary reference that says pretty much exactly what says what I mean in different words. So there's no point in making an argument by dictionary against me.
I run into a lot of trouble in conversations with people online because on YouTube, especially because I think they use a lot of words and terms colloquially in a way that's almost antithetical to the original meaning, and then they, like, people who understand that incorrect usage tend to follow them and have and be on their panels and in their discussions and in their chat. So you can be like the only person in a discussion who's using a term correctly.
Yep.
Looking right at it in the dictionary while people tell you that you don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
I heard
that. Define what they mean by a term, and you continue the conversation, then either you're, continuing, under the assumption that you accept that definition, or you're just going to be arguing against that definition of a particular thing, right? Like it's one or the other. I mean, otherwise you're just going to be talking past each other the whole time.
I had a lot of times with Bluetooth, they try to use etymology.
There's that too. Go ahead.
I mainly saw old school cartoons on other streams now.
Troopers also love to use what is it? It's not homonym.
Gematria?
That too, yeah. It's not a word that sounds like another word, but the term for two things that sound alike.
Homonym.
Is it homonym?
I think so. Let me double check.
Is a good idea, Hank.
Say again.
Jesus, the Christian taught. Not of my people don't really talk Christian.
Oh, I'm Christian. I'm a Unitarian Universalist.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Are you atheistic at the same time, or are you theistic?
Polytheistic. So this
is interesting.
So this is homonym.
Wait, you could be an atheistic Christian? Crazy.
To spell, to pronounce, select.
Why have we did a Looney Tunes stream on your channel?
Say again.
Why have we did a Looney Tunes stream on here?
Why aren't we doing a Looney Tunes stream on here? Because I'm doing debate prep on here.
Why lose subscribers if you talk about that?
Words are magic when used correctly or some shit. Indeed.
I don't know. Check your YouTube studio.
Yeah, I did lost one.
All right. Well, that's not my problem, really.
So reading the definition, I think it'd be more appropriate to say they use words and phrases that sound alike in order to create homonyms where they don't exist.
Interesting. So I needed. I think we need the term universe. It's set objects that have physical presence with each other.
I like that definition. So does the universe not contain the metaphysical then?
I don't have a good understanding what metaphysical even means.
Yeah, I guess if everything's natural, then everything's physical.
Yeah, and I'm an idealist, but everything would still have. If you're a monster of any kind, everything will have the same substrate eventually. Therefore,
right.
They will have physical presence with each other.
Even if you're a polytheist, you'd still everything in this universe would still have physical presence with each other.
Yes.
Right.
So frame, safe state of the universe, film, the movie. I won't need frame. Energy.
Sunflower speed.
Different.
Did you just say sunflower?
Speed's in the chat.
Oh, in the
Jason.
chat. Oh, okay. I was like, is he talking about his definitions? That dude kind of sounds like me, but not. It's messing with my brain. He does kind of sound like you a little bit, yeah. What's going on right now? Okay.
Chat.
Mm-hmm.
He was from my chat. He was in my. He.
Quantum Epic is in the chat.
Mm-hmm. So, do I need universe?
I didn't see Natalie Hayes is here too. We know Kazorian's here. Is he gonna?
Yep. He's on another panel. And I know the feeling. So, universe. Do I need multiverse? Let's have our definition have physical playing each other. I think multiverse will overcomplicate things.
One thing I absolutely love is when people come on your panel and then they take it upon themselves to address your side chat. I'm like, okay, yeah, you can be my co-host, bro. Totally, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave out multiverse.
Talk to the chat when I'm damn good and ready.
I'll write it back if I can't make my point without it. Dimension, number of coins, need to specify location of the object. I think I'll need that.
What kind of format is this debate?
So we must be standard modern day debate
Fast and
format.
loose. No, MDD is pretty
Both
good.
do our opening statements one at a time. Then we'll go, I think, questions. Or I think no, Monday debate's simple. I think just 10-minute opening statements. Then we'll have open back and forth discussion. Then we'll have questions for the audience. And that would be on the Monday debate Discord. I think we're gonna do it tomorrow, but we may move it another day. But I'm still gonna be prepared either way.
Yeah, I think if I was going to do a debate at this point, it would be against something like first cause argument or something like that. You know, basic philosophy.
Yeah, dimension, number quantity specify, allocation of object. This is to be a key term, dimension. Because if we say pretty much. I know some could say, well, it's in fiction, so it doesn't count. But if I could specify where it would be, if we were looking for it, then we have it. We know where it is.
But if you could just find it in fiction, that's fucking circular.
So it's gonna be really hard to say. Well, we don't have it. It's not an entity, since we have there's a way to reference it.
Does a god have to be an entity, an object that has location that which you can see or touch?
No, it just needs to be an object of worship, so it doesn't necessarily have to be an entity.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I was saying earlier. He's saying that a god is anything that you can worship. So then anything could be a god. You can worship anything. That necessarily defeats the whole that you'd have to be a that's like the I can't think of the term now, but like anything could be legitimized as a god under that definition. Anything that is an object of worship.
But there are
What's worship?
Yeah, worship's gonna be a reverence. But we could. I'm sure we can find if talking about gods that aren't entities is an issue. I'm definitely gonna have a couple examples of gods that are indeed entities.
So it doesn't prove anything. Gods can exist. It doesn't mean that they're anything other than, right? Like a statue can be a god. A shoe can be a god. A lobster can be a god. Anything can be a god. It doesn't really matter, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just all a matter of perception and interpretation.
That you can't really project with any kind of interpretation unless... No, you know what? Someone can reject anything. So I won't put it past anyone to reject any possible, because I know we have flat earthers, we have mud flooders, all kinds of crazy models. So I'll leave it up to my interlocutor to reject anything they want. I just need to focus on presenting my model. If the model doesn't make it's incoherent, then I win.
Well, there's some glaring there's some missing definitions.
Yeah, I know. There's missing definitions here, which is why I have the what's it called?
Making your new list.
So this is just where I have some definitions stored, so I can just copy them. But I'm going to add the definitions I need to this open
I
text.
don't think you're missing definitions. I just think you have bad interpretations of theism and atheism to start out with. Idol worshipping, yeah. Can also be desire, admiration.
Office.
People love to call me semantical, but my first thought would be, what's an atheist?
Yeah, I could worship, a woman. I could worship Taylor Swift. Doesn't make her God. Or
That's a good
goddess, rather.
Yeah, you need a definition of that.
For that, I'm going to use Steve McRae's we call it paper. That's the oppositional square, whatever it's called. Let me pull it up. I'm going to use that definition of an atheist. So because he makes the most clear and coherent definition I've ever seen.
Oh, so he hasn't even gotten there yet. Because we took that from the last video.
What makes his different?
So he had his paper checked by actual philosophers. So Steve McRae had his paper called "The Presupposition of Atheism by the Semaphore Square Opposition Lead to a Semantic Collapse." I've got to lean heavily on this paper to reject any forms of any definition of atheism that would
Supposition of
collapse
atheism
my
by way of semiotic square of opposition leads to a semantic collapse. Okay, so he's using a paper by Steve McRae. So that's where the citation comes from. It all makes sense now.
I actually had that one downloaded. I forgot where I. Well, ooh, this shows the full text here. So I had this one downloaded. So,
What's up, Jill? Had those freewheelers crying to their mama. Oh no. Been over to praise this. Here. Well, he won't let me in, I guess. I must have. I don't remember what I did, but I did something. He kept kicking me out of backstage the other night. So.
So Steve published this in May 30th, 2022. So if we accept that there is this distinction between strong atheism and weak atheism, we should surely accept that there is a similar distinction between strong theism and weak theism. Strong theists reject the claim that there are no gods, while weak theists merely refrain from accepting the claim that there are no gods. And then we shall have it that agnostics are both weak atheists and weak theists. Graham Opie.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I just don't know if it's logically sound.
Oh,
You're pretty good. You're a pretty good user, Hank.
But right now I'm an administrator, so I'm the best possible user on the stream.
I restream on Gen X channel every single
knows.
day until it goes X-rated.
The guy at StreamYard's the super admin.
Yeah, I guess. In some sense, the StreamYard people are my bosses, I guess. Well, I wouldn't say that. There's
There's an IT guy.
They're
There's an
my
IT guy that works for them.
Yeah.
That has more access than you.
Yeah.
He's the only one who can unhank Hank right now.
It may be possible someone else can do it, but I don't see how yet.
No, doesn't matter. All right.
I think like a weak theist could be pretty sure there's a god, but not certain.
So is he going to just pull from the abstract of this, or is he actually going to read through the actual text of it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. By my definition of God, the Christian God would not be the only God, which actually confuses a lot of atheist arguments because.
All right. Okay. So he is. Okay. So it's acknowledging that other gods exist.
They use
which
classical
makes you
theism,
a fucking polytheist,
which is, well, I guess a version of Christian God that's also Plato's God somehow, and then that God has to do what they pretty much has to act as a genie for the atheist, or it blows itself out. It poofs in the path of logic. So
You have to hold them to it because otherwise they try to smuggle in all of that Christian apologetics on a single word like God or deity or creator or designer, etc.
Yeah, but the problem is usually that's not the God Christians worship either. So I don't really know any Christians that worship the God of classical theism. So I usually call it a straw man when I get it.
So that's your problem. On your end, you're the problem is you can't actually, right? Once you take up this position, you abandon any strong Christian position, right? You're accepting polytheism in order to defeat atheism, which doesn't even work, right? But even if you were to do that, you have to abandon the position of Christianity, right? Now, I agree. I mean, it says there's only one true God, and thou shalt not have other gods but me, and all of that shit, right? But once you start to legitimize that anything can be an object of worship, then the sense of God as a deity loses all of its power, right? God doesn't have to have any power. See, and that's the problem, because your God, by definition, has to have the power to create, right? As a creator.
He's all-knowing, all-powerful, all and all-loving. Not everyone believes in the last one, but most Christians do. So that's already been taken care of.
But yeah, that really stops that in the track. So Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So that's incompatible with the God of classical theism, and it's referenced from the Bible. So we can use this verse to say that the God of the Bible is not the same God as the God of classical theism.
Oh shit, we're on.
Why?
I can't.
Because it creates evil. The God of classical theism would not create evil. So they're not the same God.
I'm gonna back up. Sorry, I can't read that. I don't know what you said.
The Lord do all these things. So that's incompatible with the God of classical theism, and it's referenced from the Bible.
I form the light and create the darkness. I make peace and create evil.
To say that the God of the Bible is not the same God as the God of classical theism.
Why?
Because it creates evil. The God of classical theism would not create evil. So they're not the same God.
Well, I mean, it's only evil to us. He creates everything, including what we refer to as evil. But what they'll have us believe is it's actually good. It's loving. We're just too stupid to figure out how smart and great he is.
Yes. But they would
We're
say
too
that
stupid, even though, like, the whole original sin is eating and learning of the knowledge of good and evil, right? Like the whole point.
create evil because that would be against his nature, and that's according to the Bible. That's not true. The Bible says right here in Isaiah 45:7 that God did indeed create evil.
Well, you'd have to, even if he merely created it in the free will of men, or he created it, with Satan, because he creates everything. That's God.
Yeah.
So evil exists, but we don't. There's two apologetic, excuses for this. One, God's really good, and we just don't understand it. He moves in mysterious ways. He's so much smarter than us and more moral than us. We can't possibly understand this crap. And the other is, human free will. All the evil that happens, even though it was created by God, is still done by man.
Both is bullshit, shitty arguments, right? Like, anything that's done by man is, by proxy, created by God, because man is created by God and in the image of God.
Our fault, because he made us that way. And somehow they try to
if anything about man was inherently evil, it was inherited by God, right?
The logic gap.
Which would mean that God is inherently evil.
Everything that's going to happen and still giving free will to a species.
Yeah, I don't really like the free will. It's incoherent. In fact, I'm still arguing with Tommy on that. So next time I see him, I'm going to ask him if he thinks slaves have free will. And if he says yes, then he pretty much his argument self-detonates.
Yeah, the thing with free will is it doesn't mean free and it doesn't mean will to the people who believe in it, right?
Yeah.
So it's
attribution. You say so. So to say something has free will is the same thing as to blame it for whatever happens.
I love this modern orthodoxy for a contradiction in terms. How do you like that? That where like God is
free will means a thing is accountable for its own actions, not whatever happens.
God is morality. So like everything God does is good, even if he like burns down a village.
Well,
because he's like the source of morality. You know what I mean?
Well, that one's easily resolvable. So if you assume might makes right, if God is almighty, then God is alrighty. So it's coherent.
What the fuck are you talking about? If God is almighty, then God is alrighty? I've never heard that before in my life. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. My other stream is still live. Yeah, I can't do anything about that at this point. Unfortunately, it's just a Prism issue. So-called problem of evil was debunked decades ago. Like most ape-man libs, they just haven't got the memo. Does God inherit anything? Would he be the epitome of evil? Well, no, everything would be inherent from God. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if man is created in the image of God, then if man has any trace of evil in him, it must have come from God. I don't know about debunking the problem of evil. I think it persists as long as evil exists. Where there's no, like, the only rational explanation is, well, we just don't understand it, man. Like, basically what they were, what this guy was just saying. Oh, well, God's ways are higher than ours, and evil isn't really evil. Evil is actually good. Because, for some reason.
It seemed to me that if you follow that reasoning through, though, you'd have to be a pretty dark person. Or you have, like, a strange view of morality. Like, every imaginable brutality is therefore just.
Well, I'm a Machiavellian, so some might say I do have a dark view of morality.
My goal is to reach 4,000 by the end of the month.
I'm going to venture to say at this point that Hank doesn't actually know what is meant by Machiavellian. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying you're not an intelligent person, but when you say that in that context, just makes me think that you don't really understand Machiavellian philosophy.
$1,000?
4,000 subscribers.
How many do you have now?
3,067.
Nice.
I doubt I'm going to reach that many by next month.
I think you could do it if you put your mind to it.
By going on brand new panels, hopefully we streaming that certain panels on my channel, along as if it's not X-rated.
Why? What happens if it's X-rated?
YouTube takes the
stream down and delete it.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna save that Isaiah 45:7 in my notes as a reference because I know someone's gonna. Usually people pull up the God classical theism, and I'll just use that as the feeder for that. I'm gonna use Steve McRae to prevent this strong atheism, weak atheism from making sense.
Good morning, Viking Silverwolf. Good to see you.
Because his paper shows that doesn't make sense unless you grant strong theism, weak theism, and weak theism and weak atheism will both master agnostic.
The whole thing falls like.
The problem with that is that, right? Like, so for me, like this whole strong atheism, weak atheism thing, right? Like, okay, you can have that, and you can still just have disbelief in a God, right? Weak atheism, lack theism, and it doesn't really give weight to either on the other side. Whether you have strong theism or weak theism, they're still trying to convince the other of their argument, right? And so it doesn't actually make a difference whether you have the strong atheist or the weak atheist on the other side, right? The weak theist just has a weaker claim, but they're still making like this positive claim. So it doesn't shift the burden of proof at all. right? This is always about the burden of proof, because you are affirming, making an affirmative statement about like the nature of reality.
I believe how it leads to a semantic collapse, the way he's thinking about it, because then you can't be an atheist unless you believe there is no God.
Exactly. And if you just if you're just not convinced, either way, you'll be an atheist and a theist at the same time.
Yeah, see, I don't see how you can get to that category. How can you slide over from, you can be atheist and agnostic at the same time, right?
Yes.
Is
So
there,
where does the,
is
how-
there a date on this? I can't see. I'm trying to see if there is a date on this piece. Oh, it says he's only got 2 papers. Okay.
you cross over from
I wondered if maybe if it's old enough, he might have rebutted himself already.
agnostic and theist at the same
One
time?
of those.
Oh, well, you can be
One of those
agnostic
types of dudes.
and theist at the same time too.
Right, but where's the crossover? What's right in
It's
between?
overlap.
You know that, huh?
It's completely overlapped. So if you're just a weak theist, you're not convinced there's no God, then that's a lack of belief, and you fall into agnostic.
Weak theist, not convinced there's no God.
But so then, how do you become an atheist agnostic?
You know, you disbelieve in a God. So not this the God. Yeah, if you have lack of belief in a God, will make you a weak atheist, and if you have a lack of belief in no God, that would make you a weak theist. But both would be agnostic.
Oh, so theistic as
So no and no. Because agnostic is like the only truly neutral claim. Like either one, even if you claim weak atheist, weak theist, is still leaning in one direction. Agnostic doesn't claim to lean in either direction based on the claim. So that's why there's a distinction there. It's almost like you've got center, you've got slightly left or right of center, and then you've got extreme left or right, right? Like that.
by an opposition
Compare it
to
to
atheist.
politics.
Theistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that works. I mean, that's where he's getting the semantic collapse from.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just lack of belief in no God, that will make you a theist. But it's also a lack of belief.
It
So-
turns atheism into a proposition.
Exactly. Otherwise, you get the semantic collapse. Atheism has to be a proposition.
So I think anti-theism is a proposition, right? And anti-theism is considered a pretty extreme, like, viewpoint, right? Like, there's, I don't know a lot of anti-theists out there in the community. Like, hardline anti-theists.
I mean, then I still don't see how you can get a weak theist. You're still an atheist then.
Weak theist would be from the lack of belief in no God. And yeah, if you're just not convinced that there are no gods, that make you weak theist.
That's an atheist. It's still an atheist.
No, an atheist is a lack of belief in gods.
Because the only way you can be an atheist, by the way you're describing, is if you assert there are no gods.
Correct.
Yeah, but that's not atheism. All atheism is you're not convinced that there are gods.
Okay.
So
If
you've
you define
taken,
atheism
you've
is-
deleted weak atheism.
Yeah, because if you allow for weak atheism, you must allow for weak theism too.
I don't believe
lack
that.
of belief in no gods will make you a weak theist. So, and agnostic can be both an atheist and a theist at the same time.
I think that's what causes the semantic collapse. Is
Correct.
when you assume the premise that in order to have weak atheism, you must have weak theism. I don't think that's true.
But wouldn't it be true?
Because then there's no such thing as atheism except strong atheism.
Correct.
So there's
That's
no
what the
category of
philosophy-
person who doesn't buy it.
Yeah, that's what the philosophers would say. That's how they use the term atheist in academia.
You're a good user, Hank. Shout out to you.
then there can only be agnostic people in the middle. You can't be agnostic theist.
Why can't you have the lack of belief in no gods?
You can, but that's not what.
Well, you're talking about like agnostic polytheist or something like agnostic as to which one, but like accepting all the gods.
Theism is.
Why can't? Why? Yeah, you can find
You're
theism.
not
that way.
distinguishing between monotheism, right? It's like because the default for a lot of monotheists is monotheism. So even though he's talking out of one side of his mouth and saying that anything that can be worshipped can be a god, he's also saying there can only be one god, right? I realize it's the other guy making the claim, but yeah, I don't hear Hank really disagreeing with this.
Let's go to the square. You have the tweet table. Let's scroll down to
Theism is the belief or acknowledgement of the existence of a god. Anything other than that is agnosticism and atheism. So atheism,
No, because you have polytheism, you have pantheism, you have deism, you have a whole other structure, subset of beliefs.
Includes all of agnosticism, all the way up into the person who's just barely not sure whether or not there's a god.
Oh, okay.
That's all atheistic. Theistic is the belief in a god.
Oh,
So atheism
Theistic can be the belief in many gods. Theistic, you're not really encompassing.
can only be a response to the theistic claim. If we create this whole other atheistic claim, then it has to be strong atheism by definition. There can be no weak atheism. There can be no weak atheistic agnosticism. It has to be an assertion to the positive. It has to be.
That's not true, and you know, it's one of those like dead horse arguments, just beating it. But like anybody who is like a Christian, say, is atheistic to to Hindu beliefs or something like that, right? Like any comparative religion with a different deity, right? You're going to reject that claim.
The belief that there are no gods.
exactly.
All right. Well, that's just not how I would define an atheist.
Oh, okay. So, who is that?
That's God.
There you go. Welcome to theism.
Correction, that's Yahweh.
Right. But I'm a strong atheist. I'm a strong anti-theist.
Not anymore.
So I think your definition there, if you use it that way, it's not a very good one. It's not a descriptive one. It may be clever in some kind of logical debate, but it's not a good way to communicate information.
I accepted your definition,
I believe that dark matter drew that cartoon.
and that'll make you
Therefore, dark matter is God.
theist now. Because you saw
But I'm a strong anti-theist.
well, you may have performed the contradiction.
He's anti-me. This guy's voice sounds better than mine. I might never speak again. No, see, I think he's a little bit more on the edge of like, I don't know. There's something in his voice. No, I definitely would. I think you're more appealing to him. I'm a weak one, Blaze Squish.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we'll let the audience decide for now. So
Also, this guy's making really terrible arguments. I don't think he's helping Hank support his case at all.
this performance square pretty much goes over in a pure logic form of negating against the propositions, which is why you can get to atheism and theism. You can approach agnostic from both atheism and theism.
Right, agnosticism is the neutral point. Why are you so focused on it? It's just,
If you're saying you don't know what kind of God there is, then yes.
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
you still
I
have to
don't
believe
know
in God.
if there is a God. If there is a God, I don't know what kind of God it is. Like, pretty much, I don't know anything. That's the agnostic position.
To be
I don't know
atheist.
anything, and I'm open-minded about everything.
So that would be an entirely different relationship than the one we've been discussing for 10 to 15 minutes now. So
What
you
do
can
you
be
mean
an
by-
agnostic theist, but that means that you believe there is a God, you know there's a God, you just don't know what it is.
And really, like, my position for a while has been that, like, truly, like, I think beyond a certain point, when people claim agnosticism, they're copping out. It's bullshit, right? Like, they have some general idea of what they think about the nature of the universe, and they either don't want to share it for whatever reason, right? Like, that's how I've always felt about agnosticism. Like, it's avoiding the conversation, because at a certain point in life, you have to hold some opinion on this.
That's
What-
an agnostic theist.
What do you mean by believing?
What are you doing here?
You believe that one exists.
Like, what if you saw one?
You might be convinced, you know? I guess it depends on how much you trust your own senses. I don't understand the question.
Okay.
You asking me would I start believing?
Well, wouldn't that be more than enough if you saw one? That'd be
I don't-
not believing or not. If it's
I don't know. Maybe I'd like to think no. I mean, I've done a lot of acid and shrooms and shit like that. So peyote. I'd like to think no. That just seeing something isn't going to convince me that it's real. But I don't know.
Wow. It's very insightful.
I don't know the answer to that. Like
Yeah.
especially.
See, I understand, and like, so I can differentiate. Like, I understand when I was having psychedelic trips, right? On shrooms and you know, and then acid, DMT, and all that stuff. Never done peyote. The point is, like, I understood when I had, you know, like a psychedelic experience versus when I had some other kind of experience, especially when you have a you know, somewhat kind of spiritual experience, like when you're like sober or you know, like really, really lucid. I don't even want to use the term sober like loosely. Because I'm like, oh shit, hold on.
What would make me think it's a god? It could be such an overwhelming presence that I just immediately become a theist and fall to my knees.
Yeah, but that's why I have this catchphrase, atheist peekaboo camps, because you can show them God, they can identify and they say, no, I don't believe it. So
Well, I believe in God as much as I believe in Spider-Man.
that's more than enough for me.
That doesn't make me like I don't believe Spider-Man actually has supernatural powers, and can rescue me. He exists physically in the world, and I admit Spider-Man has power too. I see like
Right. Yeah, and like, so when you have these types of experiences, like, I always saw that I had like certain enlightening experiences when under the influence that still rang true when I wasn't under the influence. Like vision that I had, I've talked about sometimes, like when I was on mushrooms and I saw a certain physical process take place that kind of helped nudge me towards studying more about evolution and things like that, right? So I saw it was like almost like a spiritual vision, right? Like on mushrooms. But as it turns out, like whatever I study about evolution lines up to what I saw in that kind of vision, right? So, and I think that stuff, that the information was already there in my brain, right? Like it was just a way that I was able to process it.
generation after generation of children emulating him and wishing to be him and idolizing him, reading about his philosophy, but it's still fictional. So I can admit that God exists and that it's powerful and that it's man-made, but that doesn't make me a theist.
Well, the way I use the term, it would make you a theist. But you could disagree. It's just I'll say it's peekaboo, because you can.
Then
say
there's
God.
no such thing as an atheist.
Oh, you're getting it. Yeah, you're getting it now. Which is why I will win this debate.
Okay.
Yeah, so you actually understand why we'll win this debate.
Well, you can't be an atheist. So, what's your answer about, like, can you be an atheist and say gods exist in any context? Your answer is no, right?
Affirmative. My answer is no.
I would argue that's a much easier position to win. I agree with you.
Yes.
So that doesn't even make sense. Like, because atheists acknowledge that all kinds of gods exist in fictions.
When it comes to debate, the resolution is very important. That's like the one. That's why the most important thing in debate. You get the resolution right. That's why Andrew Wilson crushes his debates, because he's
terrible at debating.
He spends a lot of time thinking about that resolution.
He argues with 20-year-olds on feminists, like, who haven't even finished college and never had a real job in their lives, and he's not even good at beating them.
Matt Dillahunty rage quit when he was.
I'd have to see it. I might rage quit too. He's an idiot. Andrew Wilson's an idiot. He can be very frustrated.
Oh, well, we agree on that point. So, yeah, like, again, damn, I was just on it, and then I got distracted for a second, and then they started talking about that. So I've talked about that a little bit. I've watched the Rage Quit video with between Dillahunty and Wilson, and that's really dishonest, because they don't really address the topic of the debate, and Wilson's clearly going out to just trigger him and whatever. Probably rather just watch it at some point, I guess. No, I don't know if it's really worth watching. I think most people have seen it. You all seen that video? So, yeah, it's about that time. Technically, Spider-Man would not have supernatural powers, since everything involved is explanatory. Mystery Spider gave him superpowers, though. I was watching a movie with Jason Sudeikis, Jennifer Aniston, where they're smuggling weed across the border, and the kid in the movie ends up getting his bit on the fucking balls by a tarantula or some shit. And I can't remember that other actor's name, but he makes a joke, like, we know if he develops. Anyway, powers, yeah. He does not naturally have those powers, so for a human, those powers are supernatural. Indeed. So it says, I don't see that as supernatural. Spiders themselves were man-made. Oh, I like this debate. Yeah, it's where there's like a difference between the supernatural and the extraordinary, right? Because it could be like out of the ordinary, but that doesn't make it supernatural. Make it outside of the natural world. Yeah. Something like that.
Trading in his idiocy. He's not good at arguing. He goes straight to just attacking people when he can't. Like, when he makes these premises, he asserts them as though they're true, and they're blatantly not true. And if you can't understand how it's true, then you're just stupid. And that's how he explains it too. He doesn't bother breaking it down. He can't communicate it to another human being in a way that makes sense. So he just calls you dumb.
You want to see a snippet of Matt Dillahunty running from the Andrew Wilson in that conference, the Monday debate conference?
At where?
Yeah, Matt Dillahunty.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't really care for with any of these guys. Like, whenever they resort to like silly ad homs, like fucking Wilson does it, Dillahunty does it, Jim Bob does it. Like, there's a lot of fucking debaters out there. You idiot! You're so dumb. That shit just like, dude, come on, get out of fucking grade school for a second. You dumb head.
From the debate with Andrew Wilson and Monday debate conference.
See, I like I've got in my audiobooks. One second. Anyway, I can't remember the fucking guy's name, but it's Bertrand Russell versus some priest, and it's on like their edition of Why I'm Not a Christian. So it's got the original audio of Why I'm Not a Christian, and then it's got this debate. Like, when you listen to the way those guys debate, like, it's fucking extraordinary. Because it's like, yeah, it's something that, like, any of these debates you listen to on YouTube would devolve into, like, you know, fuck you, and, you know, somebody would rage quit or something. But these guys are, like, sitting, like, you know, in the same room, like, just having this very, you know, civil conversation. But it's really fucking intense, you know? Like, they didn't fuck around, man.
If it's under 4 minutes, I would.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the one.
All right, I guess we are going to watch it.
Okay, I'm going to make this full screen at that. And then I'm going to make it full screen from there, I think. Who's this good now? Let's make it full screen over here, too.
Nice.
The volume.
Hey, James, I just sent you a message.
Right. We are going to kick it into an open discussion, so 50 minutes. Let's kick it.
It's the most replayed part, of course.
I'm not going to sit here and dignify the preparation that I went through and what people were here for.
You're so indignant.
Keep interrupting me.
I am.
Okay.
You're so indignant.
Would the moderator like to step in so that I can finish what I'm saying?
Please, Matt. Please. How dare someone have an opposing worldview?
I'm not going to sit here and dignify what was supposed to be a debate about Christianity versus secular humanism, which one's better for the world.
Yes.
With someone who clearly showed up with an agenda that has nothing to do with that.
I just
someone who
Why is he saying that?
trans people as
And why does he keep
lunatics who will self-terminate if you dare to question them?
Because prior to this, that's Andrew's whole fucking statement is an anti-trans rant.
Wrong, Matt.
Someone who misrepresents a quote from a debate where I said I wouldn't make a law about 9-year-olds having sex being legal with respect to the 9-year-olds, not that I was in any way in favor of it, and that I was actually opposed to it, which I addressed during that debate. But moreover, this is not remotely an honest interaction on the front of whether or not secular humanism.
Oh yeah, and he's addressing that debate with the dude who was arguing for, like, you know, under Islam, like marrying little girls off to grown men.
Valuable. Because this, when he presented his position here, has nothing to do with secular humanism. From the get-go, it's all about me. Matt thinks. Matt thinks. I'm giving what Matt thinks. What Matt thinks. What Matt thinks. What Matt thinks.
Matt's position.
I came in with the Secular Humanist Manifesto. I came in with positions that aren't just that aren't merely my position.
Oh, well, as long as multiple people hold the position.
This guy's not serious, and I'm leaving. James, if you want a refund, you
Well,
let me
good day, sir. And I'll cover your refund, Mr. Matt.
He just said he'd cover my
refund. I
refund.
would cover his refund.
No. Nope. Nope. No, I'm not going to dignify a debate with someone who fucks with trash talk people and be smug and all of the things that he's saying right now. He's already said he will cover my expenses. You don't have anything to worry about. This debate is over. Bye.
Goodbye,
jackass.
Did you call me a jackass, Matt? Well, you and your husband have a good day.
Yeah, it's kind of a jackass. Since Hank cut out the whole build-up to that, we'll just go back and do it, I suppose. Find it.
And then if you lean towards secular humanism, even a smidge or 100%, And, by the way, last. Count them real quick. Cool.
The betterment of humanity in this life, while Christianity has...
Christianity. Slip your hand up. You got it. All right, great. So Chris has that recorded, and then we'll resolve the market at the end of the debate. But with that, we're going to kick it over to Matt for his opening statement. Thanks so much for being with us. And Matt, the floor is all yours for your opening.
Thanks so much, James, and thanks, Andrew, for being here, and all of you for showing up. Humanism has as its focus the betterment of humanity in this life, while Christianity has as its focus adherence to a God and the disposition of souls in an afterlife. Our best efforts in this life are, according to the Bible, like filthy rag. Our best attempts at righteousness and justice are portrayed as vile and disgusting when compared to a bumbling God constantly failing to get his creation to love and respect him, while also prescribing the death penalty for nearly everything: adultery, blasphemy, breaking the Sabbath, disobedient children, witchcraft, worshiping another God, not being a virgin on your wedding night. Which is better for society? Well, I'd say the one that has human society as its focus and isn't so intent on killing humans for not buying into a specific doctrine. Heaven and hell, if they were to exist, aren't human societies. What a God thinks is unknown and irrelevant. There's never been a secular humanist nation, either in a governmental form, which I'm not advocating for, or in a primary philosophical view of the majority of the population, which means we have to look at the ideals between these two positions. Secular humanism has been around for 90 years. In 1933, the first Secular Humanist Manifesto was published. It identified humanism as a religion with 15 points. It was updated 40 years later in 1973 with a lot more information, and then it was incredibly shortened in 2003. In addition to the manifesto...
One thing I think I should clarify at this point, because I've had people get confused about this. I am not a humanist, and I've made arguments against humanism for various reasons. I am a secularist, but I don't necessarily subscribe to secular humanism, and I don't necessarily agree with calling it a religion.
There are organizations like the Council for Secular Humanism, American Humanists, etc. In the first version of the manifesto, it's presented as a religious view where it acknowledges there's no supernatural guarantee of human value. We advocate a heightened sense of personal life and a cooperative effort to promote social well-being. The goal of humanism is a free and universal society in which people voluntarily and intelligently cooperate for the common good. In the manifesto version 2, 40 years later, this includes a lot more information. Short versions, they begin by saying those who sign this disclaim that they are setting forth a binding credo. This statement reaches for a vision in time that needs direction. We affirm a set of common principles that can serve as a basis for united action. This isn't a to-do list or thou shalt not list. We're fine with religion's inspiration, but we're opposed to dogma and authoritarian views that place anything above human needs. Religions don't pass the test of scientific evidence. The promises of immortal salvation or eternal damnation are illusory and harmful. Ethics and moral values stem from human experience, and situational ethics stem from the human need and human interest. Reason and intelligence are the most effective instruments we possess. We are not advocating for the use of scientific intelligence independent of or in opposition to emotion, for we believe in the cultivation of feeling and love. Individuals are precious and their dignity is affirmed. This is important. Us, human beings, affirming the value of individuals and human beings is more powerful than a God affirming it, and it's infinitely more powerful than a human claiming a God affirms this, which is all we appear to have. The third version of the manifesto, in a nutshell, is so short. Whether God exists or not, we have problems to solve. We have to do this without appeals to the supernatural entities or intervention. We must utilize the best methods at our disposal. Reason and science seem to be the primary ones to assess reality and reach conclusions. Justice, fairness, equality, and autonomy are the primary goals. This life, not a hypothetical afterlife, is what we're trying to improve. So what happens when religions control societies and governments, either legitimate or illegitimate? Well, conflicts with other societies and other governments may not have any reasoned diplomatic solution. You need only look to Gaza. But that's Islam and Judaism. Here we have Christianity as a primary and Christian nationalism. Under secular humanism, you get to be a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, gay, straight, socialist, capitalist. You just don't get to impose those necessarily on others through acts of fiat. Not necessarily true with the religions in charge of the government. Mike Johnson's the new Speaker of the House in the United States. He's homophobic as all get out. He's argued to criminalize homosexuality. Homosexualities, by the way, are U.S. citizens with specific rights that he wants to take away. Moreover, he advocates for gay conversion therapy, which is unscientific and torturous, because he thinks he can help them pray the gay away, and the gay can be eliminated. He's not anti-gay. He just wants them to cease to exist as gay. They get to keep being human beings. He thinks there's no right to sodomy. Privacy laws don't protect everything, and he thinks that what sort of sex you have It should be his to regulate. Sodomy, by the way, is anal or oral copulation, which I have it on good authority. Heterosexual folks
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of good heterosodomy.
Engage in as well. 2022, he presented what was called the Don't Say Gay bill, outlawing any discussion of gender identity, sexual orientation, or related subjects, which was incredibly problematic because he ignored what the experts have to say about age-appropriate content and how critical it is, especially for kids under 10, which was his target, to have correct language in order to better report on and about sexual abuse. His policy, if it had been implemented, would have made it more traumatic for kids and more difficult for them to out their abusers and easier for abusers to get away with it. Happily, it failed. In 2015, he blamed
I think
abortion.
everything you need to know about the term sodomy is packed into the fact that it was actually like an ethnic slur, basically, back in the day, right? Like, it was like referring to people in a particular geographic location. They said did dirty sexual things. I've heard other people in a modern context say that. Like, I knew one Latin American who said of another Latin American group of people, oh, well, they're all, I don't remember, but essentially, like, they're all sodomites and they fuck their mothers. And I was like, whoa, that's like, and it was a racist slur. Like, straight up.
The nuclear family for school shootings. He also says the teaching of evolution is to blame for mass shootings because we've taught a whole generation, a couple generations now, of Americans that there's no right or wrong, that it's about survival of the fittest. And if you evolve from a primordial slime, what is that life of any sacred value? He wants student-led prayer back in school. So, Speaker, are you okay with Islamic prayers, satanic prayers, or just particular Christian prayers? He's opposed to the separation of religion and government, sometimes called the separation of church and state. He thinks that the founders only wanted to protect the church from the state and didn't want to protect the state from the church, citing the notorious lying pseudo-historian David Barton to support this view. He definitely seeks to impose his views on others. Now, some of you are saying, hang on, he's the Speaker of the House, he's not the Speaker of Christianity, or that's not my type of Christianity. Great. But what is your type? What's your type of Christianity like? Because there's a lot of them. How is it better? And how can we make sure that we get your better version than the one that Mike Johnson wants? He thinks his version is correct, so do you. Countless denominations without consensus. He's already got more power than my opponent has right now. So I don't know Andrew at all. I don't know what version of Christianity he's advocating for. I didn't bother to look him up. We literally just said hello as I sat down here. Is his version of Christianity better? I really hope so, because it'd be hard to get a whole lot worse. But they point to the same book. They point to the same Savior, the same history. Liberal and moderate Christians provide legitimacy and cover to hide the fundamentalists and to allow them to engage in Christian nationalism. Secular humanism allows you to be a Christian right up until you try to oppose it on others, and then you get to keep being a Christian. You just don't get to practice it in the way where you're imposing it on others. You can pray, you can go to church, you can tithe, you can worship, gather, share, discuss, convert, vote based on your values. You can vote against your own best interest. I see people doing all the time. You can teach your kids your values under secular humanism. The foundational principles of secular humanism solve conflicts with data, debate, and discussion instead of coercion, conversion, or conquest. There is no secular humanist sect and no denomination of secular humanists that's ever required someone to believe something that is not empirically verifiable, that's ever ordered the death of another person, that's ever ordered or acted to act or destroy property of any person or government, that has ever overthrown a democracy to impose a secular humanist regime, that's ever been connected with terrorist cells and activity, that's ever denied freedom of speech or expression, that's ever called for the deaths of people for criticizing secular humanism or any religious view, that has ever advocated for or inspired suicide bombers or terrorist attacks. Those things are simply not consistent in any way with the core values of secular humanism. There is no threat to Christians, Jews, Muslims, Scientologists from secular humanism. There might be from scientific skepticism and rationality if you're not able to actually demonstrate the truth of your claim. But life, freedom, and an equitable relationship are the foundation of secular humanism. There is no list of thou shalt not or thou shalts, because we recognize that nearly every attempt at such a list fails at some point as we learn more about our world and about getting better at understanding the world better, about doing better, and being better in this life. The goal of humanism is a free and universal society in which people voluntarily and intelligently cooperate for the common good. If you have an objection to that, or a better goal, what is it?
It's ads for DoorDash. Oh yeah, I heard you can get healthcare through Amazon now. Congratulations.
All right, thank you so much for your introductory statement. We're going to hand it over to Andrew Wilson for 10
Yeah,
minutes.
that was actually good. Good timing. Good timing. So yeah, again, and so you see why, like, Matt's response, well timed, well thought out. I think, you know. That's... Don't we all impose something on each other, no matter what? No, we don't always impose something. Most of us never impose anything on another person because most of us don't experience like the majority of other people, right? Like we only have really like so much influence on like a particular sphere of people. Oh shit! One second. We got company. Yeah, that's why power is such a strange thing, man. Because like once you start influencing more people, I don't know, people get like really like picky and shit, you know. I think I might have to end this thing. Yeah. We'll come back to this. It's good seeing everybody. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday morning so far. Saw Zyrax, Christian Carpenter. I saw Daniel Barry over there somewhere. Tog, of course. William Freeman, MathBig. Housey. Rebuke and Reprove. Sandy. Much love to everybody. Have a good morning. I'm gonna try and get some sleep here after this. I had a very short nap after my last shift, and you know, keep making that money. All right, be kind, be well, stay trusty. Have a great hump day.